In this video, we're going to help you absolutely master fingerspelling in American Sign Language. First, we're going to show you the right way to make all the letters of the alphabet. Is there a wrong way? There is, but there's a right way, and we're going to show you how to do it. Second, really important, going to show you a technique that's going to help you learn, but more importantly, to remember how to fingerspell your ABCs in ASL. I've had so many students come back to me after learning this technique and finally saying, I got it. I'm able to remember all the fingerspelling practice I've had. And last, I don't care if you're an experienced signer with years under your belt or a brand new signer. All right, I'm going to teach you some of the reasons why fingerspelling is one of the most important things you're going to learn in ASL. You will use fingerspelling in every single ASL conversation you have. Super important. All right, let's get started. So as I said, is there a wrong way to do the ABCs in ASL? The answer is yes. One of the things I see most often is people won't do the full letter. They'll get sloppy, they won't be crisp, right? It's like they're mumbling their fingerspelling. So let's teach you every single letter and how to do it correctly, right? So for example, let's begin. A. Do you see how that thumb comes up right there? All the letters against the palm of the hand, A. That's what an A looks like. Not this, not this. A fully formed A. Okay, how about the letter B? B. See how that looks? That's what a good letter B looks like. Not like this. That's incorrect. Okay, that thumb doesn't get sloppy. A full B looks like that. All right, the letter C. See how that looks right there? And it looks like the letter C. Right? The letter D. Again, get the thumb and the middle finger touching and your index finger in that vertical position. That's a letter D. E. The thumb wraps around the front. These four fingers right on top. They don't need to rest on top of the thumb. Okay? E. That's a nice crisp letter E. How about F? F. Okay? A lot of folks say it's for okay, right? F. See how that thumb and index finger again meet? This is not curled over. This is not F. There's a good letter F. All right? G. Thumb and index finger, and you're pointing it to the individual, G. An H, the middle finger comes out. It's not this, it's this, H. I. Your little pinky finger there, there's an I. The other three fingers here are covered up by your thumb. There's an I. J. You're just tracing the letter J with that pinky finger, J. J. All right, here's K. This is one of the tougher ones for a lot of people, K. See where the thumb touches the knuckle of that middle finger? That's what a K looks like, K. How about an L? L. Again, it's outstretched. Don't do this, don't, L. It's a nice outstretched L. M, three fingers over that thumb. N, see how that one came off? Two fingers over that thumb. O. P is interesting. P is actually, do you remember K? There's P. Middle finger, thumb connecting right here. P. Q, remember G? Q. Okay, there's a Q. R. You're taking your middle finger over the back of your index finger. There's an R. S is a fist. All right, that thumb wraps around those other four fingers. S. T, index finger over thumb. U, V, W. X is just a single, that index finger in a bent position. Y, thumb, don't be sloppy. Get those fingers down, thumb outstretched, and your little finger outstretched. And Z, you're just gonna trace it. You're just gonna trace it. Now, as you're finger spelling to somebody, two pieces of advice. One, your hand is always to them. A, B, C. It's not to the side, it's not to you. All right, you're finger spelling so they can read your hand. So it's right here. Now, speaking of right here, it's not here in front of my face. It's not way out here to the side. Right here, right with your shoulder. That's where you should be finger spelling all the letters of the alphabet. All right, great. Practice, but more importantly, let's teach you a technique to practice that'll help it stick. Now, I don't often try and criticize other instructors, but on so many of the YouTube videos I've seen, or instructors, or in books or websites, they have you just repeat A, B, C, D, etc., etc., etc. Absolutely 100% wrong. All right, that's why so many students can't retain, because you don't ever use this in a conversation. All right, whenever you talk to somebody, you're not doing A, B. That's not how it works. You're grabbing words, things you can see, nouns, names. That's what you're finger spelling. So if that's true in an ASL conversation, it should be the way that you practice. So here's the technique. When you're walking around the house, all right, and you see something, finger spell it. Oh, hey, there's the T-A-B-L-E. There's the table, right? There's a C-H-A-I-R. Take the time in your head to fully enunciate the letters. C-H-A-I-R. You're going to be tempted to really get fast and be speedy. Don't do that. Okay? It's more important to enunciate each letter. And when I mean enunciate, I mean fully sign it. Right? Fully sign it. Okay? There is a pillow. A P-I-L-L-O-W. Be clear and concise when you're at the store and you're looking around and, hey, you know what? I need some L-E-T-T-U-C-E. Lettuce. Right? Oh, you know what? There is some ketchup. K-E-T-C-H-U-P. You know, one of my favorite is whenever you're in a boring meeting, I put my hand under the desk or somewhere where it's not so readily seen, and I might finger spell out. Where is the A-G-E-N-D-A? Agenda. Okay, this is a B-O-R-I-N-G. Boring meeting. M-E-E-T-I-N-G. By the way, let's show you a rule that we just showed. Meeting. M. What happens when two letters follow each other? E-E. Do you see that? So slight. M-E. It opened and came back down again. E-T-I-N-G. That's how you do two letters that follow each other. M-E-E-T-I-N-G. Now, practice, 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 but use it in your daily life. When you're out and about shopping, when you're home, when you're in boring meetings, work on that finger spelling and you'll see a dramatic improvement. Not only in your ability to sign, but also in your ability to remember what every letter should look like. Now, a couple of techniques. One, don't bounce, okay? Don't do this when you sign, okay? And sometimes you're tempted to, okay? You hold it still, B-O-U-N-C-E. E. That's the way to do it, not B-O-U-N-C. That's incorrect. Okay, articulate, hold it steady as you're practicing and as you get into ASL conversations with somebody else, all right? Next, another principle. Don't yell your finger spelling in somebody's face. Don't put it way out there, right up close. It's the deaf equivalent of a hearing person shouting when they hear they're talking to a deaf person, okay? Don't bounce, don't shove it in their face. Practice, practice, practice. The next thing you're gonna work on is what's called receptivity, and they teach you a pretty cool sign. Okay? Thumb, index and middle finger are pulling the signs into your eyes and into your brain for you to process, all right? This means I get you, I'm seeing you sign, I'm learning, it's working for me, okay? Practice receptivity. How you do that? You go talk to people, okay? Find a signing partner, be out in the community, right? People are gonna finger spell, and sometimes they're gonna say, whoa, that was too fast, right? Slow down, please, okay? Or again, please, okay? Use those two signs. Slow, please, or ooh, wait a minute, again, please. And almost everybody I know will take the time to say, hey, wait a minute, you're learning how to sign? Let me give that to you again so you can work on your receptivity. So fingerspelling is so critical to communicating, learning American Sign Language. Let's give you some reasons why that's true. First, vocabulary expansion. New words enter language all the time. Fingerspelling allows you to communicate a word that you may not know the sign for. There may not be a sign for it yet. This is really true, for example, technical terminology. Let's give you an example. A few years ago, Bitcoin. When it first came out, there wasn't a sign, or with some people, some crowds, some locations, the sign may not have reached you yet. So what are you going to do? You're going to fingerspell it. B-I-T-C-O-I-N, Bitcoin. All right. Now you've communicated the idea, right? The word, what you're trying to do. Here's a real key. How are you going to follow up? You're going to follow up with sign how. How do you sign the word I just fingerspelled to you? Sign how. If for no other reason you watch this video, this first reason will help you leaps and bounds with your ability to sign to other individuals, right? Fingerspell something and make sure you follow up with sign how so you can learn the sign for what you just fingerspelled. Let's move on to our next reason. One of the things that's great about fingerspelling is it provides clarity when you have two signs or two hand shapes that look identical. You're going to fingerspell things that define, that describe, so that you can separate and understand the two hand shapes. How about proper nouns? Name and identity, for example. When you first meet somebody, they're going to introduce themselves and say, oh, hi, I'm S-T-E-V-E, Steve. Name sign, Steve. Did you catch all that? They're going to fingerspell their name, give you their name sign, and that's how you're going to make a proper introduction. Why fingerspelling is so important. Names, identities. Let's now go to proper nouns of things. I might be in the store and say, oh, you know what? Oh, my favorite cheese? What? Did you catch all that? My favorite cheese. What is it? T-I-L-L-A-M-O-O-K, Tillamook. That's a brand name for a type of cheese that I enjoy in my crackers. So what fingerspelling does, it allows you to identify brands, names, locations, places. Let me give you another example. There are many cities where there may be a sign, for example, Chicago with a C. Los Angeles is just LA. But there's so many other cities where you'll say, hey, you know what, I'm going to that city, and then you're going to fingerspell the name of that city. If you didn't have fingerspelling, think about how restricted and how much less, how not very precise your language would be. Let's move on to another reason. So this one piggybacks on one of our earlier reasons. For adults who became deaf later on in life, or for beginners learning American Sign Language, fingerspelling is that great bridge. If you can fingerspell, you can talk to somebody who's deaf. Now, it may take you a little bit longer as you get better and better learning signs for words, but even until then, fingerspelling allows for communication. There's a lot of people who may not know how to sign, but they know A, B, right, the manual alphabet. So that fingerspelling allows us to communicate. That provides inclusivity. Another great reason for fingerspelling. It creates a bridge. It allows us to be together as humans, to want to communicate, to be able to communicate with each other, our thoughts, our ideas, our dreams. Again, as you learn signs, you get better at it, but until then, fingerspelling makes that bridge. So to wrap this all up, fingerspelling is an incredibly important part of deaf culture, the ASL language, to provide clarity in sign language. It's super important that you learn. Now, not everybody fingerspells as much as others. You'll see some who will fingerspell almost everything. Okay, it's an older method for some older individuals who choose to fingerspell and not to sign. That'll really task your receptivity if you run into somebody like that, right? But practice your fingerspelling, use the technique in your daily life, and I guarantee you're going to get better at it, you're going to remember it, and you'll become proficient as you incorporate fingerspelling into your daily signing conversations. Appreciate you being here. If there's any signs or things we can help answer, shoot them to me in one of the comments. Please subscribe, get the word out, and we'll try and help others improve their ASL journey as well. Thanks.